We'll see, man. Speaking of 50-point games, we got to talk a little bit about Jamal Murray and his emergence as a superstar. What do you think, man? Is he a star? Is he a superstar? Future All-Star? All-time Nugget great? Where do you stand on Jamal Murray and kind of his emergence?
Yeah, Jamal Murray, man, it's an interesting character because scoring 50 in a playoff game, like not many players ever do that in their career. And we've seen him do it twice, last series where he's going off for major games and late too, like when his team needed it, hitting clutch shots, fourth quarter. And his team is calling him a superstar. His coach, Malone, is saying, hey, this guy's a superstar. And I'm not quite ready to anoint him yet as a superstar. I think he has all the talent to be there. Blue Arrow, I love him. Loved him coming out of college, and I think he has what it takes. But I'm not ready to call him that yet. I would say top 10 point guard. I think that he's there. He's getting to that place where we can comfortably call him a top 10 point guard. I'm not sure on the superstar status yet because there's really not a lot of other options there in Denver. It's really just him and Joker right now, the ones that got to score. So I'm not ready to call him a superstar yet. I think he's almost there, but not quite.
Right. I think you're probably thinking the same thing I am. Like, you got to achieve more than just like one really good playoff series to be a superstar, right? Like, you got to get more badges to get to that point. You got to be an all-star. You got to make an all-NBA team. There's a lot of things that you got to do to get to that point. Like, we got to keep context. It's a great, all-time great playoff series, but it was just one, man. So we got to keep that. And it was in the first round, so like we got to keep that in context. But, if he's able to come out and get buckets against this Clippers team and push them to 7 games and continue to score at a high level, it's going to be hard to keep superstar out of his realm if he's able to do that, especially if they're able to get to the third round of the playoffs. Like, man, he looks like a guy who
that's a whole different conversation, man.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who has all the tools, in which I didn't even know he had this much in his bag. So I'm a little bit surprised. But it looks like he has the tools to be a superstar, and he's still a young guy. Like, yeah, he can definitely get himself into that world, but I'm not ready to put him there yet.
Yeah, he's close. And like you said, I think if they're able to beat this Clippers team, I think we might be having a different conversation, probably a different podcast episode here in the near future on if he can be that. He has all the makings of like a very strong number 2 player. Like, I feel like necessarily the top guy on a championship team, he'll never be that. But his game reminds me a lot of Kyrie in an aspect of he's a score-first point guard, can take over late games, hit clutch shots inside, outside. He's got handle, can finish at the rim. But if you have a Kyrie-led basketball team or a Jamal Murray-led basketball team, I'm not sure that's a championship quality team, which is for any superstar what you're going to want to have. Like, you want to have the superstar X factor in it. He's almost there. I'm not ready to call the Blue Arrow a superstar just yet, though.
Yeah, I'm even wondering, like, is he the guy who makes them go? Like, obviously he's their scorer, but Jokic seems like the guy. Jokic is almost like their point guard, which is kind of weird. Jamal Murray is their point guard, but Jokic is the guy getting more assists at the end of the day, and like the guy who they run their offense to, and the guy who's kind of leading things, that facilitating things. So, like, is he even the best player on his team? I don't know, bro. Definitely the best scorer, but I don't know if he's overall the best player.
I don't even know about if he's the best scorer on that team, because we may be talking about another guy here taking over the lead, and he actually might be very complimentary in a KD, Kyrie type manner with Michael Porter Jr., man. If he's able to take that next step, I actually think that would help out Jamal Murray's game and probably take it up a notch if he could, man. And, we're talking a little bit about elevating your game at the right time, and there's always